Good morning. I know that I was supposed to do a update on Sunday as my weekly recap. But Instacart, we got some questions, man. We got some questions. I need answers because it's a lot of stuff that's going around, and we don't know. And you guys aren't giving us clarification about what's going on. So we're blaming things that we have, we don't have a real grasping or understanding of, and you guys go silent. So then you preach to the media one thing, and then behind the scenes, we know what's really going on. So we need some answers. We need some answers. So we know what the new hirings, I think either last week or 2 weeks ago, they hired 300K shoppers, and then they just hired another 150K shoppers. So we know that there's an influx of new shoppers. So I already touched on that topic previously, but I just spoke to this gentleman at my local Costco's that I work at, and he had told me that he's a new shopper, and this is around 9:30. What is it, 10:30 now? 10:25? It's about 9:30. I just finished the batch. I'm heading to BJ's for another one. My third order of the day. And he was speaking to me. He was like, I'm new, and my batch has been crazy. Like, I got an $80 batch, and I got a $60 batch, and I only take this batch, and I only take that batch. It's most profitable, and I'm getting all these profitable batches. And then I'm like, interesting. If you don't mind, when did you start? And he was like, I started at I think he was like 8. No, I'm sorry, like 7. And I'm like, that's interesting, because I started at 6, and I was sitting in the parking lot, and I didn't get anything. Like on my way, there was nothing going on. So I had spoke to him about that, and he was like, he's like, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know nothing. I'm just getting all of these, these high order batches and blah blah blah, and I'm getting like mentally upset. I try not to show it, but I'm getting mentally upset, and I was like, it sucks, because it's like the veterans who's been doing it for a while, we getting the short side of the stick, and then other YouTubers have touched on the topic, saying that they get priority, and it's like, as a shopper, I get it. Like, I don't get it, but as a business sense, I do get it, because you want to get those people hooked, not knowing that what you're doing behind closed doors, and I get it, both aspects. So it's like, I'm not really upset about it, but it is very frustrating when you're here, sitting for, I get nothing for an hour and a half. It's like, it's a little frustrating, it's a little frustrating, but it's just some things we deal with, some things we got to understand, that it's not only the bots that we're dealing with, but we are dealing with the way the algorithm is set up for Instacart, that they're just, giving new shoppers priority batches, and it's becoming more and more frustrating. Yesterday was a terrible day for me. One of my worst days. Not because I stopped early. It's because I sat for so long, and then the batches that I was getting was just beyond terrible. It's just these low price, high mileage batches, and it's just not profitable for me. So I don't know. Let's see what the next topic is. Speaking on me sitting at Costco's for an hour and change with no batches, we need feedback from Instacart, man. Like, we need questions, because I need to know how this location thing works. Like, do I have a radius that I'm supposed to be in? Do I need to be at a certain store to get certain batches? Like, is your GPS system messed up? Because I normally don't get orders from home. Granted, I live about 10 minutes away from the Costco's that I shop at, but most of the time I don't get any orders from home. I may get a couple orders from a town over from me for my Aldi, but I don't know. Like, we need to know how you guys doing this, because it seems like I'm at one location. I'm out here in at my local Costco's, and I'll get orders from 4 towns away. How was that a thing? Like, how is that a thing? Is it like Is it like a radius that I choose from, or I know that we select our batch state, or in the town and stuff that but it's not detailed to where it picks every single town. So I'll get orders places that's 30 something minutes away. Mind you, I'm sitting at a Costco's and I get nothing from Costco's, or I'm sitting at Costco's and I get orders from BJ's, or I'm sitting at BJ's and I get orders from Costco's. And it's like, do you guys have it to it as it's too many shoppers in one area and you trying to move us to another location? Like, if that's what it is, then let us know. Send us an update saying, hey, there's a lot of shoppers at in this area. We prefer for you to move at another spot, because it's like I shouldn't be sitting in one spot and I'm getting orders from towns away. I mean 20-30 minutes away. It's like, I don't know, man. They need to be more clear, and they need to give us feedback, because things aren't starting to add up. And especially with that viral video of well, not viral as far as worldwide, viral as far as in the Instacart community, or the gig economy. We have definitive evidence that there are bots going on, so it's very frustrating when we have all of these things going on, whether it's the bot, whether it's the influx of new shoppers. So it's like it's putting a stress or overload on the Instacart app that we don't know who to blame. And when you don't know who to blame, you blame anybody, and that shouldn't, that's just not how we should do things in a professional sense. They definitely need to give us feedback about what's going on, because we need to know. We need answers to these questions, man. They need to answer some of these questions, because it's getting more and more frustrating. Like somebody else said, it's not just affecting one state or one particular area. Like this thing is like countrywide, and it's just very frustrating when even today when I 10 batches pop up and then they just disappear. They disappear, and it's like, oh, okay, I can't even process what's going on the screen because they're gone so fast. So it's just we just need to know what's going on, man. We need questions, and they're not willing to talk to us, but they are willing to talk to the media. So if somebody who has a greater following can reach out, I mean, that'd be much appreciated, not for just the individual, but for the many, because they're not going to address this issue if their batches are still being completed. Like, I know that there's supposed to be a strike going on today, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I didn't participate in it because I wasn't paying attention to it, of course. But it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. And Instacart doesn't have an incentive to fix these things that we have issues with. Like, the location thing needs to be fixed. Like, if there's a legit problem, like, let us know. Hey, send something out on Twitter or on Facebook or wherever, they reach out, their social media team reach out. They need to let us know, like, hey, we know what's going on and we're trying to rectify the situation. But to just go silent on it, you're creating more problems, and I don't know, man. It's ruining the experience, not just for us, but because at the end of the day, customers are gonna start asking questions. They're gonna start wanting to know why their orders aren't being fulfilled, and that's a problem. That's a can of worms you guys don't want to open. And I know that's why you guys rather hire, more staff than fix the problem of the bot. You rather hire 150K more staff opposed to fixing a problem where this thing is going on. So I don't know, man. That's just my little end of the school week, Monday through Friday, end of the school week wrap up. I'll probably get back to you guys on Sunday, but it's becoming more and more frustrating when a new customer comes and talks to me and explaining to me how he's a new customer and he's getting all of these crazy batches, and for an hour and a half I sat in the parking lot before he started and didn't get anything, and he's getting his batches back to back. So I don't know. We got to figure something out. Because it's just not. At the end of the day, this isn't going to end well for anybody. And I know they're still making their money. I know they're still getting their batches done. But this hurts the people who actually take pride in their work. So you can keep trying to, you know, water down the product. You can keep trying to shuffle out, you know, hire more people so you can avoid the question. But at the end of the day, like, you're gonna have to answer to somebody, and it might not be us as veterans, but you know, hopefully the customer sees what's going on and they reach out. So until Sunday, guys, have a good one.